What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we're going to be talking about something in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. So guys, this is something that a lot of people are really annoyed about. I'm going to give my perspective on it. This is just my opinion on this whole situation. If you guys don't agree with it, that is perfectly fine. If you guys agree with my opinion, that is perfectly fine as well. At the end of the day, we are all entitled to our own opinions on things with this game mode. Just because I have some sort of a following does not mean what I have to say has any more merit than somebody else. But at the same time, I'm going to talk about this because this is a situation that I didn't really think was the biggest deal in the world. But I think a lot of people that were upset by this, we've really got to kind of lower kind of our expectations when it comes to a lot of things in 2K. So obviously you guys can see here, we got Ja. So we have got Ja Morant. Ja is a brilliant card. Ja was a brilliant card yesterday. Ja is still a brilliant card in my team. So a lot of people are really annoyed. People are really annoyed because this card became available on Friday. Like today is Monday, so he was available 3 days ago. People were like delighted to get this card here. So, Ja, I'm going to be completely honest. Like, Steve Francis is better than Ja. I'm just going to put that out there. Like, if you look at Steve Francis compared to Ja Morant, Steve Francis is so much better interior defense, which matters a lot. And they're basically the same when it comes to everything else. They're so similar, except Steve Francis has got slightly better dribble sigs. Release-wise, Ja is slightly better. And then badges-wise, Francis got way more golds, whereas Ja has got the Hall of Fames. That's pretty much it, lads. That's pretty much it. So we already had a very similar card to Ja. And then today, 2K came out with a Moments card. That is, if you guys don't know, De'Aaron Fox and Ja Morant are the exact same sigs, except one of them's right-handed and one of them's left-handed. So a lot of people, again, are really complaining because if we look at stats and stuff, like, De'Aaron's probably better than Ja. As well as that, De'Aaron gets quick, Ja gets shifty dribble style. Or, I think that's the case. But you're looking badge-wise, Ja is very similar to Francis. But Ja gets half quick for a step. Or sorry, De'Aaron gets half quick for a step, whereas Ja only gets it on gold. But Ja gets things like half posterizer. So like a lot of people are complaining, oh, this De'Aaron Fox makes Ja Morant outdated. And I just want to ask you guys the question, like, is De'Aaron Fox better than Ja Morant? Maybe. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. If you want to buy a De'Aaron Fox, you're paying a premium. Like, you are paying 60, 70k for the guy. And like, even if super packs and stuff come out, he's still going to be around 40, 50k. And Ja was free. Like, yeah, obviously, guys can say time is money. But I'm just going to put this out right now. If people are playing video games for the purpose of making something out of it, because I don't understand this whole time is money attitude, because like, is playing MyTEAM Limited not meant to be fun? Like, if you don't play the game, if you do not enjoy playing this game and you're just card collecting, grinding card collecting, you do you. But like, kind of rethink everything. Because if you don't enjoy playing Limited and you play Limited just like, just to get your rings and you're kind of angry having to play the game, you don't want to do it, just don't get Ja, just play the game mode. You get a Hall of Fame badge, like at 5, you get a diamond contract at 3. Like, you don't even need all the rings if that's what you're playing for. But like, if you do want to play for Ja, and you, like, I enjoyed Limited. I really enjoy playing Limited, so I got Ja. And if you were playing for Ja Morant expecting him to be the best point guard in the game, like, he wasn't in the top 2 best free point guards in the game on Friday. So like, we already had Francis who's better. We already had Peyton who's better. I'm going to be dead serious. We already had Marcus Smart who's better than Ja Morant. Like, Smart's better. So like, these cards already existed. And I'm seeing a lot of people that are no money spent players and are getting really kind of angry calling this game pay to win. 2K are like, look, just like, this is a big money grab and everything. Like, with all those packs that came out on Friday. Is it a money grab from 2K? Are they trying to make money? Of course they're trying to make money. At the end of the day, they're a for-profit company. But like, all those packs did was for the actual no money spent players. It lowered the price of everything. Like, there are people that spend money on the game. Those packs, like, I don't understand. People actually saying, oh, these packs have made the game impossible for no money spent players. All those packs did was basically make half the cards more affordable. Like, I don't understand some people's complaints, because people are just complaining to complain. And, like, I know you guys might say it's strange, like, it's crazy coming out of my mouth, me saying people are complaining for no reason. Like, you guys may disagree with my reason, but at least I have a reason when I'm complaining. I'll give a reason for why I'm angry at certain situations. I may not always be. But, lads, we gotta change our expectations. If you're not putting money into this game, change your expectations. If you want the best team in the game, there are 3 ways you can do it. Spend a whole bunch of money, get super, super lucky, as in 1 in 10,000 lucky, with free packs, or learn to use the auction house. The auction house takes a while to learn, and you're going to be spending all your time in the auction house. Or you can play this game to no end and, like, absolutely no life the game. And, like, you guys might think I know life the game. I've played a lot of hours in the game, but a lot of the hours in this game are me just literally sitting on the menu talking to you guys. Again, the reason why I have no face cam is because, like, I'm just back from practice, so I'm just literally hood up, sweating, just about to go and take a shower. But I just want to get this video out a little bit first because, well, it's midnight, it's kind of getting late. So, if you want to not spend money, if you want the best team in the game, like, if your only enjoyment in 2K is having the very best players at every single position, you're either going to have to spend every bit of your day playing this game, or you're going to have to spend money. And, like, I don't like anyone spending money on the game, but, like, if that's what you want, honestly, you're going to have to spend 4 or 5 hours a day playing the game. You might as well just pay the money if that's what you want. But my attitude towards this, and this is how I find it most enjoyable with no money spent, is you can always find alternatives. So at the end of the day, is the Aaron Fox better than Ja Morant? Very, very slightly. But at the end of the day, one card is like 70k. Is it better to have Ja Morant and 70k, or pay 70k for the Aaron Fox? Obviously, just use Ja. Like, there's no difference. Same with Francis. If I didn't get Francis, I'd be perfectly happy running Ja point guard. There's a reason why I sold some of my expensive players for Wang Zhizhi. Like, it's all about where you can make compromise, and I actually think that's what 2K have done a really good job. Like, if you can't afford Giannis, okay, that's cool, get Jonathan Isaac. You guys can't afford Klay Thompson, well, there's no real alternative for Klay Thompson. If you guys did this card and you couldn't afford James Harden, just use the Amethyst. If you guys can't afford Paul Silas and you want a Hall of Fame interceptor player at the 3, use Eddie Jones. Like, there's a lot of really good alternatives for a lot of players. You guys want a fast center that'll block shots and doesn't necessarily need to shoot, go and use Dino. 5k. Like, if you want to use the best version of LeBron, if you want to use the David Robinson 75th anniversary, if you want a 27 Hall of Fame badge, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and you're not spending any money on the game and you're complaining that others have those cards, well, like, in fairness to them, if you're going to spend 10,000 on the game, you probably should have a better team. You probably should. But at the end of the day, like, we saw with Ty's team, or not even Ty's team, we saw with RCA's team. RCA's running Sean Marion 50k, running Marcus Smart at point guard. Like, obviously Clay is Clay, but, like, RCA finished first in qualifiers, running a couple of rubies. Like, it's doable. If you're good enough at the game, it's doable. There are alternatives in every single scenario. So, we just got to change what our expectation is. Like, if you genuinely thought that 2K were not going to release a better Devin Booker this season, you've never played this game before. Like, we all know. Like, what's the difference between these two Devin Bookers? One of them can hold clamps. Like, there's barely a difference. I'm sorry. Half blinders, yeah, instead of gold blinders. That's a good badge. That's a good badge. I'm telling you, you're not going to notice a difference between these two Devin Bookers in-game. You are not going to notice them play any differently. This Devin Booker on the left, unless you badge the heck out of him, is still not going to play defense. Except, this one's 100k. This one was free. And not only that, he was free for 6 weeks. You had the best version of a very popular NBA player for free for 6 weeks. Of course, they're going to put better versions of cards into the game. We gotta realize, for everyone who's grinding for free cards, not like, Obviously, we've had Taco Fall, we've had Terry Dishkin, we've had Ferry, we've had exceptions. But for hyped players that are in packs, like there probably is going to be an Opal Ja Morant in January. Like, is that a big deal? I don't think so. Like, the best cards are always going to come out of packs, unless there's some, like, massive, crazy grind like the Taco Fall one. Like, that is, like, the exception, and it only happens really at the end of the year. Like, 95% of the time, the best cards in the game are going to come out of packs. So we've just got to accept that. And do I like it? No, of course I don't. Of course I don't. But I'm cool with that, as long as there are specific grindable cards and 2K consistently release budget cards that are competitive. Because people are going to open these packs. Specific grindable cards like Steve Francis, I really like these cards. Yeah, it was annoying to get a 10 win streak. Yeah, but I mean, you can dashboard and you don't really get the win streak. Or it doesn't matter. Win 5 unlimited games, get James Harden. He was super easy. Obviously, Gary Payton's really, really difficult. But even without that, it doesn't matter. You got limited rings. These limited rings this year have been easier than ever. We have Mike Conley, who's really, really got a specific grindable card. At the start of the year, we have Bob Cousy. Like at all stages this year, like I'm gonna make my free. This was my free team at the end of season 1, and obviously there are a lot of other players. So I'm gonna just throw in the guys that I got from playing with not a crazy amount there. So I'm gonna take out Bob Cousy and Bob Pettit. Free locker code. Center. He was free as well for winning 5 unlimited games overall without just playing another mode. Let's get rid of him because, I mean, he was an unbelievably long grind. TT offline games. He was him. Obviously, two of these guys were luck-based, which kind of defeats the purpose. Let me just put Devin Booker into small forward. Kelly Chapuka, he was so easy to get on the road to Carmelo Anthony. And obviously, he was a luck-based player. I mean, technically, you could say Ja was a luck-based player as well, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. Is there any other players we just chuck in? I mean, him. Like Terry Rozier, he did a job. Like, I mean, he was an agenda card. It's like all of these guys have been like, and Kevin Garnett, have been specific grindable cards. And outside of Carmelo Anthony, all of them have been relatively achievable. Like, 2K are never going to give us, like, as much as I would hate, as I do hate saying this, like, would I love there to be a situation where 2K, every one of the best cards in the game was grindable for free? Yeah, I would, but it's not the case. It's honestly not the case. And if you're going to sit there complaining about something, that is never going to be the case. And I get it. I fully get it if you really want to use LeBron James. You really want to use the best LeBron James and you think it's unfair that you can't. I fully understand that. But it's something that's not going to change. Like, there are certain things that, like, and again, I will be the first person to rant if I feel something's wrong. And, like, to an extent it is. But, like, we got to look at things from both sides. Like, this game's not pay to win. I'm just going to say that right now. This game's not pay to win. It's pay to have a slight advantage. Like, if a player, like Jonathan Isaac is not that much worse than Giannis. He's worse. He's not that much worse. Wang Zhiji is not that much worse than... Honestly, a good player with Wang Zhiji will destroy a bad player with David Robinson any day. Screw it. Like, I don't even need Carmelo Anthony. I don't even use him that much. And Darius Miles is still... He can still be used. Like, if you got Gus the Bus at the start, like, he's still more than usable. Mikal Bridges, 5k MT. Eddie Jones, 10k MT. Point guards, Marcus Smart was my point guard for a while. Eric Snow's a beast. Harden was free on the 1st of October. So, like, so many people, again, they're complaining about, say, their Ja Morant suddenly being outdated because there is now a card that's basically the same thing that's 1% better that came out a few days later. When in reality, forget about Ja Morant being, like, outclassed by De'Aaron Fox. Ja Morant was outclassed by Steve Francis. But, like, I don't understand. And again, when people are constantly talking about cards being outdated, like, these cards are not the best cards in the game. Like, a card doesn't have to be in the best 2 players in the game to be outdated. Like, if I just didn't like Steve Francis' jumper and I replaced Steve Francis with Ja Morant, would I lose anything really? No. I wouldn't. If you really, like, if I replace any of these guys with Penny Hardaway, he'd be a little bit better. If I replace Gary Payton with Marcus Smart, would I really lose too much? No, I'd lose a little bit, not too much. So it's like, with all these, Just because there is a card that is better than a card does not mean it's outdated. Like, Devin Booker was not one of the best 2 guards in the game when he came out. I'm just putting it out there. This current Devin Booker is still not that good a 2 guard. Like, that Devin Booker is still not better than Eddie Jones, the new one. Like, nobody's using that new Devin Booker in the squad because what's the difference? He can freaking hold clamps and has a +7 lateral. For all the people that previously got Devin Booker, wow, there's a Devin Booker now that's 1% better that you're not even going to notice. For everyone who got Ja and is throwing their toys out of the pram saying, oh, now there's a better version of Ja. They're, oh, where Eddie was a better version of Ja. Steve Francis is better than De'Aaron Fox. Like, come on. If we cannot sit there and expect 2K to not release good cards and packs. And like, there's reasons to be annoyed. I'll be annoyed when 2K put out copy and paste cards. That's something that will annoy me. But like, we've just got to change our expectations. And for me, that's what makes no money spent so fun. The fact that if I just cared about getting the best team in the game, and I was there with like my 4 million MT squad, we would never know. We would have never known. I wouldn't have even used this guy. So we would have never known how big Wang is. We would have never known that in-game, Wang is huge. We would not have known that. And he's a sniper. I'll stop with that. I'll stop saying that, don't worry. It's kind of hard not to. Like, if we weren't no money spent, we'd have never known how good Isaac was. We would have gotten rid of this guy straight away. We wouldn't have realized the post-spinning MLK is like the secret weapon. We would have never known how good... Well, to be fair, Mikal Bridges and Eddie Jones, these guys are just gods. We would have never known how good Eric Snow was. We would have never tried out Jordan Clarkson. We would have never used any of these players. And that's what I love about this game. And that's why I enjoy this game mode, is constantly trying out new players, constantly trying out new things. What I'm not going to be angry at, because I get so many DMs saying, like, why aren't you making a video about this? And I'm explaining here why I don't care. Because that's not what I care about in the game. I don't care. If 2K gave us a 90... If 2K gave us a free 94 overall LeBron James, and he was still good, and he was good, and then the next day they released a 95 overall LeBron James in packs, well, I wouldn't be annoyed that they released a better card in packs. That's expected. I'd just be happy that we got the 94. Like, this is not something to be angry about. Because there are things to be annoyed about. The fact that we didn't get a specific achievable agenda card in this entire season until they released 4 of them at the weekend. We've only got 1 moment's agenda this year. There is so little to do in this game. Oh, fingers crossed the new game mode is actually a lot of fun. But there is quite a lot. There's nothing really to grind once you get the level 40 card. And then if you're not going for level 40, there's nothing in general to grind. So it's like, I love those specific. I loved it when it was either 2 week. I would love it if there was 2 weekly agenda cards. That's my ideal game, but it's not going to happen. So, lads, did the new cards make the previous card? Did cards today in packs make grindable cards outdated? No, they didn't. If you think Ja Morant is outdated today, then you must have thought Ja Morant was outdated yesterday, because De'Aaron Fox is 1% better. Is De'Aaron Fox better? Yes. Why the hell would you ever buy De'Aaron Fox when you can just put the freaking clamps back? You can put some defensive badges on Ja. Clamps doesn't even matter when he's not guarding ball. Did the new Devin Booker make the old Devin Booker outdated? Hell no, they're the same card. If you've essentially, because Devin Booker is over 100k, all this is today is essentially shown is, oh wow, a card that I grinded for 6 weeks ago, if it came out in packs today, would be over 100k. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is just, again, one of those videos talking about the game. If you're wondering again why there's no face cam, like I am literally about to run up for a shower. I'm in no state to be on camera right now. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the situation. So many people keep DMing me saying, like, make a video about this, make a video about that. And it's the same with like the packs on Thursday. People are like, or Friday, people are like, oh, make a video that's a money grab. And I'm like, first of all, the packs are essentially guaranteed. So like, at least, like, I'm even less angry because I'm like, at least when people open these packs, they know what they kind of know what they're getting. Like, is it gambling? Yeah. Is it, like, it's probably, like, not as bad as it is most of the time when it comes to gambling. And there's no reason specifically why they're worse. I don't care if it's a money grab. They're a for-profit company at the end of the day. All I care about is that this game is fun for people that don't spend the money. And I actually think that there's a lot, you can make a more than competitive team without spending money in a couple of days. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.